The whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is giving me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what
everything,
you sell.
Everything is in there, you know? And so they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all your money in those chips, and they control the chips and they control people. And you become a slave, you become a serf to these people. That's their goal, that's their intentions.
Is all the TSA line. The line where you get your ID and boarding pass checked is all the way up there. It comes around here, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. It snakes through here, but then you have to take the escalator over there down to the baggage claim downstairs, and that's how you end up down here. Right now, according to that board, it says that the wait is 150 minutes. Not sure if that's accurate.
For now are the plagues come upon the whole world, and ye shall remain in them. For the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 27. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah Kodesh. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting onto the elect. All right, and I have an article here. My voice could come back. An article here is actually dated today. Okay, and it's dated, it's titled, Trump deploying ICE to airports on Monday to ease crowded TSA lines as NYC travelers face security line hell. Okay, and of course, first time hearing this, you know, the first thing I thought about was they're about to kick into the next gear of surveillance and / the police state. All right, because through the spirit, I believe that the next attacks, you might have airports just so they can do away with people's ability to travel going back and forth. And also to put the fear, all right, in people, to create that kind of hysteria. Okay, so a perfect place would be to hit these airports. All right. And of course, not having TSA over there, that's also causing a crisis with traveling. Okay, you got people, I mean, I've seen the videos. I'm sure brothers and sisters, you've also seen the videos. Different major airports in America, and you see long ass lines. I'm talking about lines that run through the parking lot all the way to the outside of the airport, all because they don't have TSA workers. The TSA workers are pretty much calling out sick because they're not getting paid. Okay, so now the excuse to fix all this is to bring in ICE. And what's ICE going to do? They're not trained as TSA agents, so they're going to be coming in there with that energy of scanning people, right? Using this new age technology that they're going to be unveiling through this process, okay, as a means to hasten the process of checking in and checking out and so on and so forth. All right, but let's read this real quick because this is also going to lead to some form of crisis, okay? And they have to set up the stage for that management. All right, so it says here, ICE officers will be deployed to airports to help clear the horrendous security lines for the TSA, which ran out of funding more than a month ago because of a Democrat shutdown, President Trump announced Sunday. And it's not a Democrat shutdown. This is a government-induced shutdown. Okay, the Democrats and the Republicans are working together. But in the open, they pitch it like it's them going against each other. Okay, and through that back and forth that they're doing, the only ones that are going to be hurt and their lives will be disrupted is the American people. Okay, and that's why Trump, the cruel Lord, he said, yeah, it's going to be a small price to pay, right? All this energy crisis that's going on that we said was going to happen, he said it's just a small price to pay. Remember a few years ago, I believe back in 2023, Christine Lagarde talked about the transition. Okay, going from what we have now to the digital world, there's going to be a transition. And she said it was going to be a painful transition. Okay, so we know this was going to happen. We did say that 2025 was the halfway point from 2020 to 2030. Okay, Agenda 2020, Agenda 21 to Agenda 2030, 2025 into 2026 is the halfway point. Okay, so from here on out, it's full throttle, pedal to the metal to bring in that MOTB system. Okay, everything is set up for that. All right. It says the move is meant to speed up security lines, which have stretched up to 3 hours at some airports as TSA agents walk off the job or call out sick because they haven't been paid in weeks. Okay. And there's a quote. It says, on Monday, which is tomorrow, ICE will be going to airports to help our wonderful TSA agents who have stayed on the job despite the fact that the radical left Democrats who are only focused on protecting hardline criminals, just like you doing, we protected hardline pedos, right, who have entered our country illegally, are endangering the USA by holding back the money that was long ago agreed to with signed and sealed contracts and all. Trump wrote on Truth Social. And it's crazy because when he came out with that Truth Social thing, we said that it was crazy because it was ironic that he was going to be using it to tell lies. And that's exactly what he's been doing ever since he got that shit. Okay. It says the president predicted his decision to send the federal immigration agents to airports nationwide would be met with criticism from the left. Quote, it says, but watch, no matter how great a job ICE does, the lunatics leading the incompetent Dems will be highly critical of their work, Trump said, asserting they will do a fantastic job. Okay, and they're going to be doing a fantastic job because now it's time for them to start cracking down on dissidents, cracking down on people who may be political opposition. Okay, they're going to be attacking people. They're going to be grabbing people up. They're going to be doing that. Let me check your papers, because it's not just at the border. We told you ICE will be also coming to airports. Anywhere 100-mile radius from an airport or a border or a seaport is considered a border. Okay, if you're within 100-mile radius of any airport, they have a jurisdiction over you. Okay, and these rules that are coming down the pike, going more towards the digital way of identifying yourself, those are all things that's going to be enforced by ICE, which would then take its own shape into some form of military police. But at least it's starting off with ICE. Okay? And very soon, within the next few months, America would not be the same. Okay? Just like back in 2020, we had the whole demic, and then they preached this thing called the new normal. Nobody's ever seen America like it was before the so-called new normal in terms of just how life used to be. Even our pockets tell us that we're living in a new normal, a new world. Okay? Utility price. I mean, we used to go to a grocery store and spend like $80 and we'll come back with 2 bags of groceries. Filled up the cart. Nowadays, we take the small cart and you don't even fill up the top part of it. See what I'm saying? Everything is expensive. It adds up. You buy 5 items, $30. You're like, damn, like what the hell? And these are all 5 items that you need. Right? You literally specifically go there for those 5 items and then you break in 30. You're like, yo, this used to be like $20, if that, $15, $20. You know? So we're living in a completely different world, and to know that it's about to get even worse, yo, man, it puts you in a different mindset. Right? It puts you in a completely different mindset. That's why the Apostle Paul said that we are not as them that do sleep. Okay? That sleep in the night. Right? Because we're children of the day. We're always watching, man. All right? So it says Border Czar Tom Homan will be in charge of the operation, the president added. This sounds like a takeover. Operation? What you mean operation? I thought they were just coming there to assist. You see? But operation is more of an undertaking, and that's what they're about to do. All right, it says Homan, all right, said during an interview on CNN's State of the Union Sunday that he doesn't envision ICE agents doing the jobs of TSA screeners. So why the hell are they there, right? But rather handling other aspects of airport security. But that's why you have police over there. The police is there to handle the airport security. All right. The TSA is not the police, and the police is not the TSA. Those are two different agencies, man. Okay. It says, quote, I don't see an ICE agent looking at an x-ray machine. Why? Because you have digital TSA workers now. This is the opening for the digital TSA workers. Okay. The machines. All right. Like Clearview, I think that's what it's called. Clear. All right. It used to be called Clearview, and now it's called Clear, if I'm not mistaken. It says, because you're not trained in that, but there are certain parts of the security or certain parts of security that TSA is doing that we can move them off those jobs and put them in specialized jobs to help move those lines, he explained. We'll put together a plan today and we'll execute tomorrow, Holman said. How this is an operation. You don't get to put a plan together one day and then move to the next day and then execute that plan in an operation. It takes time. Okay, you have to think of, okay, what do we have now? What are we anticipating to get in the next couple of weeks, right? How does the energy crisis that we're in now affect even airline travels, right? Are airports going to be closing down terminals? They're going to have to do that, right? Because you can't have long lines of all these different people, thousands of people at the airports. Mad people going to be canceling flights. And what's going to happen? You're going to see a lot of people sleeping in these airports because some of them are being taken through Uber and all this extra shit. Some people are traveling different places, right? This whole thing is going to cause a problem. You know how many people are going to lose business deals because they can't get a flight, right? Some people actually work based on that, like making deals, meeting people, flying over here, going over there. And now you're missing a flight and then boom, the deal is gone. Now what? The one thing that you were counting on because of public transportation and all this TSA bullshit, now you're assed out. What about people going on so-called vacation? You already booked a flight, right? Certain places, they might not even give you a refund. You see? So it's literally a crisis that's been built up, and TSA people are going to be frustrated. When they go to these airports, you're going to see a lot of people bugging out, fights breaking out, all kinds of shit. So they need ICE, like some form of authority to come in there and quell that type of shit, man. Okay? It says here, the border czar indicated discussions are ongoing about how many ICE agents will be deployed to airports. Okay? We're going to do what we can to help TSA move people through the lines, he added. Travelers have been facing security line hell this past weekend, with wait times on Sunday hitting nearly 3 hours at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, 2 hours at Houston's George Bush International Airport, and more than an hour at JFK in New York. Even before dawn, the TSA pre-check line at JFK appeared to be at a standstill and stretched longer than the regular security checkpoint line. See? That's crazy. Why is this all happening right now? You got spring break, you got a lot of people planning to go on vacations and so on and so forth, and this is all happening now? Remember, around this time of the year, spring, a lot of people have things going on. A lot of people plan weddings and shit like that. You gotta travel different states to go to these weddings. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. It says, nearly 2-hour-long lines awaited frustrated flyers attempting to reach their gates at New York's LaGuardia Airport Sunday morning, with a queue in Terminal B stretching into the parking lot. And there are videos on that. I'll see if I can find some and put it in post-production. But this is what they are doing. It's all designed. It's all planned this way. Okay? It's all planned this way. And guess what? The next thing is going to be the big cyber attack. Okay? And they're justified because now they can say, oh, we have the perfect bad guy, Iran. You people don't want to support this war? Well then, let's see how you're going to support this war when we shut down your fucking electricity and start rationing. When your gas prices hit $6, $7 a gallon. Okay? When you go to a grocery store, you find it suddenly empty, as the scripture says, suddenly shall the storehouses be found empty. Okay? It says here, in New Jersey, wait times at Newark Liberty International Airport ranged from 5 minutes to longer than 30 minutes in some terminals. At Philadelphia International Airport, Uh, the 6 a.m. security lines were backed up to the Marriott Hotel on the premises. That's crazy. That early in the morning. Quote, it says, I have never seen a line this long in Philly. Reuters reporter Jared Renshaw wrote on X. Widespread TSA absenteeism amid a partial government shutdown prompted Trump to start mobilizing ICE agents for use at airports on Saturday as he called on Democrats to end the stonewalling that has cut off funding and paychecks for TSA screeners. Well, Trump, how about you navigate what the Democrats are doing and come up with a plan instead of trying to get $200 billion to go to war, all right, against Iran. How about you send some of that $200 billion that you're asking for to go pay these TSA workers? Why are you such a president of division? Why is this always constantly, oh, the Democrats are doing this, the stupid Democrats, this, and then the idiotic governors and mayors. It's always this constant push for division. Okay, and as the scripture says, a kingdom divided itself, right? A kingdom divided against itself shall not stand. It cannot stand. Okay, and that's exactly what you see here. It's a instability that's been designed. Trump is that guy to bring all this to fruition. That cruel Lord. Everything that's going to be happening to the American people is going to be cruel at his behest. Is he going to care that a lot of women are going to be dying in the street soon? Is he going to care that healthcare is going to skyrocket to a point where people can't even afford healthcare? Right? All these new laws that's coming for transportation. Is he going to care? No. Okay, all this new energy, because the energy crisis that we're in, people don't even see it yet, but it's here. Okay, the new regulations that's going to come out of it is going to affect more and more people. Who's to say in the summertime they're going to say, well, hey, we're going to have to ration, your AC use, power outages left and right. Okay, because there's too many people on the grid and we don't have enough, and the infrastructure is old, and all kinds of bullshit they're going to come up with. Okay, you own nothing and you'll be happy. They have to start regulating these old ways of doing things. Change them up. Your freedoms, your liberties, your thought, your so-called rights that you thought you had, they all gotta go. And what best way to bring that about by bringing some form of disaster / crisis, and in the name of emergency, make all those swooping changes, and people will accept it because it's supposed to be done for the meantime, right? There's an old saying, I forget exactly who said it. Might be Voltaire, right, or one of these Illuminati puppets. Okay, and he said that ultimately what they're going to do is they're going to take away all the rights and freedoms from the people, and then they're going to promise to give it to them once that so-called bad guy has been taken out. The bad guy could be anyone, right? We're going to put the bad guy as an X, disease X. It could be Iran. It could be some form of sleeper cells. It could be anything. It could be aliens. It could be anything. But something has to happen for them to use as a form of a boogeyman, right? Create hysteria, create fear, and then be just justified in bringing in a solution, right? And then once that happens, hey, everything you know or you're accustomed to will change overnight. Just like 9/11 happened, 45 days or so later, the Patriot Act came into play, and now that's how you brought in the TSA workers. Prior to TSA workers, there was no such thing. You just go in there, you got your passport, you boom, 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 you out of there. Next. See? And the TSA came in, all this spying on people because of what? National security. And that's always the go-to, national security. See? So continuing, it says here, roughly 50,000 TSA agents have been working without pay amid the shutdown, which is entering its 36th day. Of course, 3-6, right? It says thousands of others have called in sick since February 14th, and more than 400 have quit their jobs altogether. Quote, I think you're going to see more TSA agents as we come to Thursday, Friday, Saturday of next week. They're going to quit or they're not going to show up. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said during an interview on ABC's This Week, noting that TSA workers are set to miss paychecks on Friday. Okay, it's crazy. And most of these TSA agents that are missing pay is mostly jakes. That's why they don't care. Understand that. It's mostly Jakes, the so-called black woman that always got an attitude problem. She's either going to be in the DMV, at the post office, or at the fucking airport. Places where it's always packed, it's densely packed, everybody's frustrated, everybody's in a rush, okay? And that's where you have these mean creatures at, man. They always purposely create, they hire people like that. See, it seems like they're always there. They got an attitude problem. They're always trying to rush you. They talk mean to you. I mean, damn. That's why y'all getting what y'all getting. All right? Maybe if you were nicer to people, much more polite, the Lord might hold it down for you. Maybe all these things that's happening, he would have been like, yo, you know what? I'll put you in a different job so you don't have to deal with this shit when it comes. You know? Talking about you work for the government. So continuing, it says here, quote, so I do think it's going to get much worse, Duffy said in the situation at airports. So if it gets much worse, then what? Then what? Right? Basically, there'll be no travel. Like I said, if it gets much worse, airports are going to shut down. They're not going to just keep having ICE. ICE can't do all the work, right? ICE is going to make things even worse. They're going to exacerbate the fucking situation. Just like they went and did, they're supposed to go to Minneapolis to go take out illegal immigrants and gang members or whatever shit that they said was up there, right? And it turned into murdering American citizens and running them over and doing all kinds of crazy shit. So TSA is going to be replaced by ICE, okay, because they can't pay them, shit, whatever. What's ICE going to come and do when they don't have any expertise in this? What are they going to come and do? Oh, we're going to just go police the place. What do you mean police the place? We don't need police. We need TSA agents, you know? So it's like you're bringing the wrong remedy to the cure. I mean, you're bringing the wrong cure/remedy to the problem. And that's done by design. It's to create another problem. Okay? So it says here, ICE, unlike TSA, was funded through last summer's One Big Beautiful Bill Act. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, another one who's part of the plan, slammed the plan. It says, the last thing the American people need are untrained ICE agents at airports all across the country, potentially to brutalize, which they will do, or in some instances kill them, which they will do, Jeffries said on State of the Union. So they predictively programmed these things as well, right? Because remember, Kamala Harris, she said Trump was going to be a dictator if he was to become a president, and that they don't want to allow that. They kept saying that shit. CNN, all these different news stations were saying that, oh, Trump is going to be a dictator. He wants to be a dictator, whatever, right? Before he became president. And we told you he was going to be a dictator and a totalitarian because all the people that he's working with behind the scenes, right? They're all a whole bunch of tech moguls, okay? The technocrats. And look where we at. He promised you so many different things, and we told you people, this guy will turn on you. Remember the poem, the poem of the snake? I did so many videos on that, and I kept referencing that, saying when he comes in, he will turn on the people. When he comes in, he will turn on the people. It's a script. It's a script. Okay? It says Republicans have pushed to fund DHS while Democrats have sought standalone funding for agencies like TSA that would exclude immigration operations. Interesting. It says, quote, it's unfortunate that Republicans have decided that they would rather force TSA agents to work without pay. You see, now this guy is saying, oh, it's the Republicans. But earlier, Trump is saying it's the Democrats who are holding up. You see, so it's this back and forth that they're doing. Meanwhile, the people are hurting, but the people who are hurting are also turning against themselves and saying, you voted for this. No, you voted for this. No, you should have voted for this. It's that back and forth. Okay? That civil war is building, and it starts from the people who are at the top. They set the trend. Okay? They play like they're fighting against each other on the outside, but inside they're planning together. Okay, hey, you do this. Hey, you do that. How come Trump could talk shit about Obama, and Obama could talk shit about Trump and call him a dictator and a racist and all this extra shit, a bigot and a homophobe, all this extra shit that they say about this nigga? Except for the pedophile part. They don't mention that part too much. They should start doing that, right? But they say all that, and then, what's his name? Dick Cheney or whoever dies. And you see these niggas sitting right next to each other, whispering and laughing and joking around with each other, man. And the American people it's like they don't even see this shit. These people, man. They deserve everything that's coming to them. And that's why we read that in the book of 2nd Ezra. Let's get that real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And verse 26, it says, "For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction." Verse 27, "For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him." Okay? So all these Americans, the culture of America is designed to sin. Okay? That's the American culture. It's a secular culture. It's not a religious culture. It's not anything, in the sense of being on the right side of things, doing righteous things. No, they don't even believe in the Bible. A lot of Americans are very materialistic. They're not spiritual at all. That's why the system is based on materialism. Okay, folly. All right, it doesn't stand on actual principles and morals. Everyone is demoralized. It's a moral decay. That's what America is. It's the valley of the shadow of death. Okay, morally, it's a low land morally. Okay, and what you see in different countries in the so-called Middle East, you're going to be seeing here in America. As a matter of fact, I have a friend in Qatar. I spoke to him today, and he was telling me. He said, "Yo, man, this war shit is for real, for real." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, bro." He said, "Yo, the thing is, you got a lot of these countries, they have missile defense systems. So a lot of these missiles don't get to land on the ground. They just get shot right in midair." He said about 200 or 300 feet up in the air before they hit the ground. But he said, "Yo, you be on your phone, you be in your house, right? The good thing is they haven't targeted civilians yet, but they're targeting like air base and military bases and oil corporations that have oil companies out there. Those are the ones that Iran is attacking for the most part. They haven't hit any civilians yet, as what he's saying, right? But he said, yo, you be at home and then you get a notification on your phone. 10 seconds later, you see the whole building shaking. You hear this loud sound and the whole building shaking. He's like, yo, it's scary. He hasn't been to work in like 2 weeks, right? And that's right around the same time this whole thing popped off. And he's in Qatar, okay? And he said he just went to work, I think it was yesterday or today, and it was a short thing like, yo, you got to get back home. So everybody's home. Like, you hear the notice, you take your ass home because you don't want to be victimized out there. You don't want to get caught out there, okay? He said them things is not even landing, and it's shaking the whole place up. It's scary. He said mad people are already leaving the place. The embassies, the different countries that have the embassies over there, they're telling the people, yo, get out, like quick exit, get out. So yeah, man, this thing is popping up, but it's gonna come here to America. They have to bring it here to America. Okay, eminent domain is the new frontier. All right, the new way of taking over land. All right, starting shit. All right, your government is gonna be starting shit. So continuing, it says here. There you go. It says here. It's unfortunate that Republicans have decided that they would rather force TSA agents to work without pay, inconvenience millions of Americans all across the country, and now potentially expose them to untrained ICE agents and create chaos. There you go. That's the key. They want to create chaos. So they're going to create chaos at airports throughout the land rather than get ICE agents under control, Jeffries argued. So he's going to be proven right. Okay, through the spirit, he's going to be proven right because that's the design of things to happen. It's designed this way. Okay, it says Democrats have demanded that the Department of Homeland Security implement several immigration enforcement reforms as a condition for federal funding. See, immigration reform, the biometric visa exit entry system. That's about to start playing out very soon. Okay, this could be the catalyst to that. It says here, the White House last week signaled it would support expanding the use of body-worn cameras for ICE agents, so more surveillance, right? Limiting immigration enforcement operations around certain locations, whatever that means, like schools and hospitals, increasing oversight of ICE detention facilities, and requiring officers to wear ID badges. Like, that's going to do anything. There's a word that came out that a lot of these detention facilities, the young girls in there are all getting pregnant. Why are they getting pregnant? Because these ICE agents is raping them, man. That's what's going on. And I mean, are you surprised? Are you surprised? We said this was going to happen. And that's being done behind closed doors. Wait till it happens in the open. It says here, Um, Democrats, however, appear to be holding out for more, including a ban on agents wearing masks, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're a federal agent, you gotta also show your identification, nigga. You can't be hiding behind a den like a fucking hooligan. You can get hurt that way, man. You go into a wrong neighborhood on some rah-rah shit, you trying to grab people up and shit, you don't identify yourself. Somebody might, hey, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? You got armed dudes with guns. And they pull up on you on some gangster shit. They got masks on their faces. I'm not looking at you as a Fed agent. I'm looking at you as you a hooligan, nigga. Who the fuck is you? Who's these gang niggas, man? If we got spiritual power, it's over with. You know? Shit. All right. It says Democrats, however, appear to be holding out for more, including a ban on agents wearing masks and face coverings and requiring ICE to obtain judicial warrants before entering private property. That is in the Constitution. But they're using ICE to go against the Constitution so people could get used to that. Once you start, because a lot of people are ignorant of the law. They don't know what the hell's going on. So the slightest little thing that happens that makes them uncomfortable, they're going to fall right in line. And that's what these devils are banking on. They want less people who know what's going on and more people who have no idea what's going on, because that's how the fear tactics work. The less you know, the more you fear. The more you know, the less you fear. Okay, because you have an understanding, a clearer understanding of what's going on. That's why the scriptures tell us this. Let's get this right quick. Let's get this here in the book of Isaiah, right? Because all these prophecies that we used to bring out is all happening. Therefore, the prophecies, the precepts that we used to, bring out to hold us in the time of the things that we prophesied will be happening, they're prevalent right now. They're the most prevalent right now. Okay, here's the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure." Okay, and the world is devoid of that wisdom and knowledge. They're ignorant to the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, so therefore it's going to be to their own detriment. As the scripture says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil to come and hideth himself. Right, but a fool passeth on and is what? Is punished. It's punished. Okay, so they're not gonna at all consider the ways of the Lord until it's too late, and then they're gonna start coming around here barking like dogs and shit, looking for help, howling and shit. Okay, there's the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 4, and we're gonna close it out. It says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and that red represents Esau's power." Okay, this is the end of this man's age, this man's system, this man's kingdom. Okay, going all the way back to the time of the Greeks, going back to the Romans. They fell, they came back up from the Spaniards all the way till now. Okay, all the way till now. It says, "And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth." And when they started with the Greeks, they took peace out of the earth. Alexander, he was making war, kicking ass and taking names, right? He ruled for 12 years and then he died. And then his generals came after him, as it says in the book of First Maccabees, that evils, right, was multiplied upon the face of the earth. Bad times, that's what evil means, bad times, but also evil in terms of immorality. All right, a lot of things that is practiced today comes from the Greeks, right? Like the gym, for example. The word gym literally means naked. Gymnasium or gymnasio means naked, or gymnast, right? It means naked. So you got all these people, these bodybuilders and all this shit. Not modern day women go to the gym and it's like, damn, what the fuck? Where do you think you at? You think you're at a beach? Before you damn near got a bikini on. What the hell's going on? Right? So it's the same thing, man. People go in there dressed crazy. You can see all their parts. Damn near, you might as well just take your clothes off at this point, because I see everything. Nipples popping out, ass cheeks out. You know what I'm saying? Pussy lips hanging out. You'd be like, God, man, you know? But it says here, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So from then all the way till now, what's that power? That power is the sword. Okay, the Lord gave them the ability to have the ability. We'll go with that too, right? The ability to have the ability to what? To be able to cause murder upon the face of the earth without any justice, without any revenge. Okay, everyone got to just sit there and allow Esau to do whatever the hell he wants to do. Turn around and victimize himself and say, "Oh, I'm the bad guy. I'm the good guy. Look what they're doing to me." October 7th happened. Hamas, we're going to destroy them off the face of the earth. Fucking bullshit. Right? So it says here, it says, "And that they should kill one another," right? Goes into those wars that you've had since the time of the Greeks all the way till now. All right. Even from the time of 1948 till now, how many wars has happened upon the face of the earth? Right? Are we not in the time of war right now? And ultimately, it's going to culminate in a world war going thermonuclear. Okay. They have something known as mutually assured destruction, the MAD theory. What type of devil are you to come up with something like that? Right? The harbinger of death. Right? It says that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay, a great sword. And what is that great sword going to do? It's to soar. It's to bring a sore slaughter. Okay, let's get that real quick. So that's what's coming. You got people playing games. Palantir is getting ready to unleash holy hell on American soil. They can't wait. Okay, they cannot wait. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 21, and verse 8. It says, "Again, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished." That same sword we read in Revelation 6 is what the Lord has given into the hand of the slayer. Verse 10, "It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter." Should we then make mirth? Right? Should we be in a state of merry, being happy and going crazy? No. This is the time where you start preparing yourself because you know that sword is coming. Okay? You're not like the other people who have no idea what's coming. They're going to be caught off guard. It says, "It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree." It says, "And he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer." Okay? To give into the hand of the slayer. All right? So yeah, that's what's coming. And who's that slayer? Esau Edom. Okay? Esau Edom. They're getting ready to unleash holy hell on American people, man. All right? And that is the ultimate conspiracy against America, to take down America, to take away your constitutional rights, to take away your freedoms, to enslave you perpetually through the microchip. That's what's coming. All right? So anyway, I'm ended off there. Lord willing, you're edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Until next time, Shalom.